Hi folks, welcome to the No More Pain Clinic. Today we're going to be discussing 3 reasons why you might have lower back pain. Let's get into it. As always folks, my name's Elliot, your soft tissue therapist, and I always start videos with a disclaimer. I cannot diagnose your problems via the internet. You're welcome to ask questions in the comments down below, but please know that my first and always advice will be to go and see your local soft tissue therapist, sports massage therapist, chiropractor, physiotherapist. Okay? So, with that being said, let's look at reason number 1. And reason number 1 is really simple, okay? But really hard to fix. So the number 1 reason why you most likely have lower back pain is because you sit down all day. Now in our clinic here, out of all of the clients that we see all day, every day, we see people over 65, we see lorry drivers, and we see people in their mid to late 20s who work up in the city, up in London, in an office all day. And all 3 of those people have the same thing in common. They sit down all day. Now, I don't want to get too complex about the human body in bits and pieces, but I need you to understand something. Your body is designed to do a particular job, and that job isn't sitting down. Okay, sitting down is a 21st century problem. It's a problem that we've created ourselves that our body is now trying to adapt to. So your body's really clever, and it will always try and find a shortcut for whatever it is you do. That's why runners get faster, that's why weightlifters get stronger, and all those bits and pieces. If you spend lots of time in this position, sitting down, okay, this being your legs, this being your back, it will change these muscles here, okay? And it will make this one possibly shorter and this one possibly shorter, depending on how you sit and where your legs go and bits and pieces. Now here's a problem. If over time you spend more time sitting than you do standing, exercise, all those bits and pieces, then your muscles are going to change in length, they're going to change in shape, they're going to change in power, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to have a knock-on effect to the rest of your body. Now your legs are connected straight to your hips, which is connected to your spine, which is connected to your head, so on and so forth. So if you're sitting down all day, it's going to start putting pressure into your hips and into your spine. And that's what causes lower back pain. Now, the problem with that is that it seems like a simple solution, doesn't it? Wanting to not sit down so much all day. But for some of us, that's easier said than done. We'll do another video later on in time, maybe next week or the week after, discussing tips to help people who sit down all day to help bring them back to full health and reduce their lower back pain. But just as an exercise, tomorrow, rather than sit down on the train, try and stand on the train. If you're taking a phone call, walk. Okay, we've all got headsets, we can walk and talk now. Okay, try that rather than sitting at your desk all day and see if you get pain, or if you don't get pain, or if you feel better, or if you don't feel better. So, reason number 2, folks, is a bit of a sensitive subject sometimes, and that is shoes. Okay, shoes. Now, I've borrowed a pair of my wife's shoes. She doesn't know, she's currently at work. I'm at home filming this, and when you see this, my darling, I'm sorry, but I've borrowed your shoes, okay? Now, this is what I would say in Britain is a typical pair of slip-on, they call them pumps, I believe, okay, slip-on shoes. This is made of essentially what looks and feels like cardboard. They weren't particularly expensive. I think they're only £5–10, and girls generally buy these because they're nice and easy. They slip them on, they kind of float around in them, whatever. I watch people every morning walk past my house wearing these to go and do a full day's work. Now, if I show you the bottom of these now and I show you my hand, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that this is not how big your foot is. Your foot is much wider than this, and when you put weight into it, the shoes, and you can see this, look, if I put weight for it, the shoes start to flare open, okay? There's no ankle support here, nothing. This is essentially a piece of rubber on the bottom of your foot. That is not good. Now, gentlemen, we are equally as guilty, okay? And we buy nice shoes that don't provide us lots of support. And that's going to have a knock-on effect, because if your ankle joints are working overtime, if your calves are working really hard, in fact, if you generally aren't supporting the feet, there's going to be loads of problems working their way up the body. Remember, the body is connected, okay? Remember the song when you was a kid? Head bone's connected to the neck bone, so on and so on and so forth, okay? That's bad times. If you're wearing flimsy, non-supportive, cheap shoes, that's going to cause serious problems. And to give you a bit of an anecdotal story, about a year ago, I bought some Reebok CrossFit Nano 6 shoes, okay? Now, the Reebok CrossFit shoes, obviously I wear trainers all day, so the Reebok shoes had a slight lift in the heel, and they were designed for people who did Olympic weightlifting and kind of running in bits and pieces, you know, what the CrossFit people do. Now, I don't do CrossFit, but I do Olympic weightlifting, and I do like to have a little run. So I thought, oh, this makes sense, great. And I was walking around all day in these shoes with a slight lift at the back, and the lift is designed to help with weightlifting, okay? And I ended up having real bad pains in my Achilles tendons, one up the back of my leg. And I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, this really hurts. And my soft tissue therapist, he's rubbing it out, he's grabbing it, it's really sore. And he was like, have you changed your shoes? And I was like, yeah, I've got these new CrossFit ones. They're great, they're amazing. After 4 weeks, I'd absolutely wrecked my Achilles. I was in loads of pains. I called knots in my calves. And that was giving me lower back pain, because when I went back to flat shoes, suddenly my muscles, even just after 4 weeks, had changed. So you need to think about that seriously. Girls, if you're wearing heels all day. Gentlemen, if you're wearing shoes that the wrong size, with the world's worst for that. Oh, you know, I'm a 6.5, but I buy a 7. Okay, take some time to find a shoe that you can wear all day, that when you get home, you're not dying to take off. That's a good shoe, and it's not always an expensive shoe, not £200-300 shoes. Okay, a shoe that is comfortable, that fits the width of your feet as well as the length of your feet, because we always buy shoes for the size of our length of our feet, sorry, don't we? You know, I'm a size 6, I'm a size 7, okay, but no one ever thinks about the width of their feet, no one thinks about their instep. Okay, if you think about marathon runners, okay, anyone you know that's run a marathon went to a running shop, they got their gait tested on a treadmill, and they went and bought really fancy shoes. But we don't do that for everyday life when we're on our feet. You probably cover as much mileage as a marathon runner would do in training in the day, but you don't feel like you need to buy nice shoes for that. If I just give you some perspective there, hopefully that might make you think. Okay, so the reason number 2 is poor shoes. The third and final reason that you probably have lower back pain, if it isn't from sitting down all day and if it isn't from your shoes. Now, if it is those two things, please still listen, because it might be an accumulation of all three. Is your tummy muscles here, okay? This is my chest, sorry. The tummy muscles here, you see them? Okay? Everybody thinks that your core, your tummy muscles are designed for attracting men or women, and that's it, and looking good on the beach. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The core muscles are specifically designed to keep you upright, okay? So these are the ones at the front, and you have some at the back. It's called the core because it goes all the way around, okay? We've got oblique, spina erecta, abs at the front there, okay? The abs have actually got 2 layers in them as well, okay? And they're designed to keep your organs in, they're designed to protect your spine, and they're designed to keep you upright, okay? Now, if you've got a dog or whatever, okay, or an animal of some description, they obviously haven't got those muscles. That's why they can't stand up. And, you know, they can balance on their legs and stuff, but they don't stand up like we do because they haven't got those muscles. But here's the problem. Over time, if you don't exercise them, they become weak and they waste away. And how do you know if you've got weak core? Well, if I asked you right now to hold a plank for a minute, and that fills you with dread, and you think, I can't do it, or I would do it, but it's a bit of an ordeal, then you might have a weak core, okay? That's not your fault, because 21st century living doesn't allow us to have strong cores. It designs us to sit down all day and then not do anything and have everything brought to us, okay? And that's fine, that's life. But that could be causing lower back pain, because if your tummy muscles, your core, is not working, you might start to slump forward a little bit. And you see how my posture has just changed there from rolling forward to backwards, and what that puts is more strain through your back. So if this is your core muscles and they start to break down, your back has to compensate, and that can start causing pain on your lower back. Now, that's not such an easy fix, and a lot of people, actually a lot of it's not true, a lot of people, but a large majority of people who go to chiropractors, have their spine realigned, often find out that their pelvis has dropped or tilted, and it's for a lack of strength in their core muscles, and they end up sending them to Pilates and things like that. So that is the third reason why you might have lower back pain. So just to recap, folks, number 1, maybe you're sitting down too much, and that's adapting the way your body's developing, and that's causing impingements and pulling and bits and pieces. Number 2, you're wearing shoes that are not comfortable, that are not bearing the weight of your feet, not helping your feet spread, okay? And number 3, you might have a weak tummy, okay? Now, you can self-diagnose any of these, because you can look at your shoes and see if they've got uneven wear. You can do a plank and see if you can hold it for 60 seconds, and you can write down how many hours a day you sit down, okay? If any of those three are impacting you, then you're gonna need a change in behavior, change in shoes, or start working some core work. I hope that's been informative. If you've got any questions, put them down below. We will be doing a follow-up video about how to improve these things, how to beat lower back pain. Until then, hit us up on the socials, and we'll see you later.